Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. We're at beautiful Willowbrook Nurseries, where we always have this lovely breeze when we come here. It feels nice on a very warm summer day, but okay, not good for the hair. So I'm back with Colleen from TERRA here, and we're talking about planter materials and how to choose them, and you're going to give us some good tips today.
Yes, I am a huge proponent on planting things other than just your normal geraniums.
Yes.
So there are some tips and tricks on how to make things last and how to pick the right plant for the right planter and the right planter to stay outside.
Now, some people don't have big full gardens. Now, we know when we talk about this often that people have very small properties or just balconies now if they're living in apartments or condos. And so sometimes that is their garden, is all out of containers.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. So there's still a ton of variety. That's the one thing I want to make sure is that people understand is that there's a huge variety of plants that you can still plant if you don't have a garden, if you've got a balcony, or maybe your garden's full, like me.
That too. I can imagine your garden is very, very full. And a lot of people think that they have to transport it from the pot into the ground, but you don't. You can, as long as you choose it properly.
Exactly.
You take care of it.
Yes. So the first thing is, of course, as usual, you know, do you have sun? Do you have shade? So those typical things, and what season you're going to be spending out there. So usually in the summer season, that's when you want to concentrate. This is where you can actually be a little bit more season specific on when things are, because if it's going to be on your patio, then you want to pick something that's going to be at its prime during that summer season when you're going to be sitting on your patio most of the time. Exactly.
And we'll get to this, but also if you do have a place, an apartment or a condo, where are you going to put that planter in the winter?
Yes.
So we will get there.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about some tips and what we're looking for.
Definitely. So if you have a shady spot, hydrangeas work amazingly well in planters.
Love.
So
beautiful.
So some of these, this is one of the endless summer hydrangeas where you can get it in pink or blue, and it blooms throughout the whole summer because it will bloom on new and old growth. So that's the nice thing about it is that you don't have to worry about pruning it or anything like that, or worried about pruning off the blooms because it blooms on both.
That's great.
So that part works really well.
We've come a long way with these plants, haven't we, over the years?
Yeah.
It's amazing how much more low maintenance, and with the way we are in North America here, we're just go. So we don't have a lot of time. So something like this, and it is just gorgeous. There's something just feels so good about these.
Definitely.
Beautiful color.
They're so beautiful. They're so full of flower color. And then along with those two, you know, you can add your hostas and things like that. You can also use these as a focal point in your planter and then still add some of the annuals.
Right, okay.
But have this so that you don't have to buy as many annuals every year. Like I have hydrangeas.
Yes.
There's a hydrangea over here that's got a nice red stem to it.
Yes.
A little later season. And it transitions through as well. But that is really good in planters because then that's your focal point in your planter. And then just add a few annuals and then you can change it up every year. But that's the base of the planter, so you don't have to buy as much.
Well, that's great. You know, some people are afraid to plant annuals and perennials together in a pot, but you can do that.
For sure.
It's totally okay.
Totally.
And as you say, in fact, it's giving you lots of variety and it gives you lots of color and interest throughout the seasons.
Yes. And for when you're talking about standards, because you still can get some height and some tree forms on a patio as well. So the one on the far side here, it's actually a lilac standard, and planted in the base of that is actually some creeping thyme.
Love that.
So you've got some fragrance in there as well as flower, and the dwarf Korean lilacs, prune them back right after they bloom first thing in the spring, and quite often you get a second flush out of them later on.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot.
You can still do it.
Colleen, why don't you come over to my house? I have this one and I love it. So
Yeah, quite often they'll throw off a few extra blooms later on in the summer.
cool. Those are beautiful.
Yes.
And again, there's something very interesting about that. And I love the creeping thyme on the bottom. Great idea. Great idea.
And also, especially if you're going to be overwintering things on your patio, evergreens are a great choice as well.
Sure.
So you've got the false cypress, and you also have, this is a blue spruce standard.
I like
so
that.
it's just got, it's a little blue starred juniper standard, and then it's a globe spruce standard on the other side here.
Look at that, eh? Those are great. They're so fun. They have like something very modern and contemporary to them too.
Yes, they have some form to it, and just very low maintenance too, because all of these things too grow relatively slowly.
Okay.
So that part's nice too. You can also get dwarf Japanese maples.
Love that.
These ones are one of the ones that you can't really leave outside because the roots are a little bit more sensitive to the cold.
Okay.
So when you have something that is a little more sensitive, you can either sink it in the ground, so actually plant it in the fall, or pull it into a garage and really protect the base of it.
Okay.
But when you're picking plants that you want to stay outside, usually check out your hardiness zone. Usually we're around a 5-6 in our area.
Okay.
Choose about 2 zones colder. So choose something that says 3-4 on the tags. So
All
all
right.
the tags will have a hardiness zone on them.
Yes.
And that just means that they're, it just means that they can handle more cold temperatures.
Okay.
And then the next step too is choosing the correct planter for it. So some of those
Yes.
frost resistant planters, I think I mentioned before about pulling them up off the ground if you do have to leave them outside. You can also insulate them, put some bubble wrap around them, especially if you're on a balcony, put some bubble wrap around them, or an old comforter or something, just to, again, to protect it.
Okay.
Or you can also go with some of these cool colors in the plastic pots here. So
Yes.
you've got like some fuchsias, some
Beautiful.
charcoal gray, and then you can add some fashion as well to your
It's always
patio.
nice, right? Well, and so let's talk about, for example, as you were referring to the Japanese maple. So if you lived in an apartment, you really couldn't have one of those, right? Because you can't really keep it inside the house during the winter. Like, what would you do with that?
With something like that, if you were on a patio in a balcony, that would be one of the ones. It would be worth trying to insulate it and
So
see.
pull it in close to the...
pull it close to the building,
Okay.
wrap it with some extra bubble wrap, put an old comforter around it. It's just that root ball that you really want to protect.
Right.
Because it's the roots and the freezing and the thawing that usually will kill it.
Okay, and we've had the last couple of winters, we know, they've been a challenge for us, right? And it's been a challenge for vineyards and golf courses and everything. So you do have to, I guess understand that right now our temperatures are all over the place. So hopefully maybe we'll have a better winter this one to come, but we really don't know. We're in Southern Ontario and we're just getting it right now. Good summers though, so that's what we go for.
Yeah.
So again, just really thinking wisely. I love the look of this one as well. This is beautiful.
This is Japanese maple as well, but it's got like the dappled leaves on
Yeah,
it.
it sure does.
So it just gives it, again, a texture
Yes.
as well as a little bit of different color to it.
Beautiful. And when you are dealing with these planters, as you were saying, they move a little slower. So that's what you want. You don't really have the space to be having these plants that are growing out of control and big, right? Some
Yes.
people are searching for that to fill the space in there if they have huge gardens or they want some privacy. Now we know our backyards are a lot tighter, so they are looking for very fast growing plants. So that's another segment. Trying to create screening and blocking.
That
but these
said,
ones are more
you can do screening and blocking in containers as well.
with
Ornamental grasses.
ornamental grasses.
So
Love
ornamental
that.
grasses work extremely well in containers as well. So you can take, that plume grass or something that grows 4 feet tall and put it in a planter or a nice window box, and then you get that screening effect on your balcony or on your patio, and it's nice because it's movable, so you can almost create the movable rooms outside.
I like that.
And in the wintertime, just leave it as is, and then you still have that winter look. And if you lose it over the winter, then you get to change it up the next year. But if it does survive the winter, then it's that extra bonus. It'll be just that much bigger the following year. And another good thing to think about too when you're picking the container is making sure it's bigger.
Yes.
Like you don't want these like the little 6-inch ones, 10-inch ones. You want to go for
Give
chunky.
it some room. Okay.
You see like some of the sizes, the ones that I brought today. So
Sure.
they've got some good soil space, so that's going to insulate them and give some extra soil for roots to grow as well, so they're not going to get pot bound too quickly. But it gives that little bit more freeze thaw and helps them make it through the winter.
I love that. Great ideas. And as you know, if you are sitting out on a balcony and you do have neighbors close, you do want to create a little haven, and it just also feels good to you, right? You
Yes.
created your own little space, even if it's just so small. Thank you so much, Colleen. Great stuff. All right, and thank you to Willowbrook Nurseries as well. That's it for now. We'll have more TERRA to come.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Dave Maciulis from National Landscape Group, and we meet in the craziest of places, don't
Yes,
we? And I
we
see
do.
that you bought me some iced tea and some nachos today.
These are great nachos.
Yeah, we're at the Thirsty Cactus in Dundas right now, out on this patio that you created for them out of a parking lot.
Yes,
How cool.
yes, yeah.
Yes.
It was actually quite a privilege when the owner called me and said, you know, Dave, we really want to improve the business. We want a better look. I mean, you take a look behind you, that, you know, parking sign here was the remnants of an old parking lot that was once here.
How awesome.
In fact, when we dug up the old patio, the original asphalt was here as well, but the owner really wanted us to reuse and recycle some of his own personal products from around the patio space that you see here.
That's fun, and that's probably good inspiration for you too, right? Because obviously you're coming into a space, it's got to be exciting for you as a designer to come in and you already have your own ideas, but if they already have a little bit of an input or some again, additional items they want to add to it, then it gives you something to work with.
Yeah, it does. Well, you know, when he first approached me about this 100-year-old barn that had collapsed, and he saw this barn board, which is like right behind us, and at the base of the patio, it's all that rusted panel. He says, Dave, how can we reuse this? And I right away thought, well, for privacy from to the side and just to create that encompassing fenced-in area, we use that recycled barn board from 100 years old.
What a great look though too, right?
It is. It actually adds character to the whole scene.
It does.
So matching up to that, to the front side of the patio, because we're here on a main street, just for a little bit of protection for people jumping over, but steel panels, they'll last like 75 years with that rust coating on them. And again, steel is a renewable product. Recyclable product.
Right, and so again, as you said, over time it gets more and more, it has more character to it, and it's going to last. So not only are you, you're again reusing, and this is what we're really focusing on, is reusing and recycling, and it's good for everybody that way, and you're getting character, and the guy next door isn't necessarily going to have the same thing as you.
That's right.
Right, so incorporating this into your own backyard, your patio, again, just is inspiration for you.
Yeah, and then if you want to maintain consistency, and it's like the little details, then you can go source out a local Dundas Valley antique store and actually add some accent details, things like the old spittoon, or if you're collecting maple syrup in those old containers and use them as cut flower pots, even little light lanterns that add accent details to the tables.
Sure do, right? And again, you want to create that character, so this is your space. As you mentioned, we're right here, right off of a main drag in Dundas, so there is that connection to the community outside, but you've created a little haven in here, so give it some character.
That's right.
All right.
Well, even the owner is conscious about the footprint that we even have on society. So things like the rainwater, it is set up. This patio is actually set up, although in the budget it wasn't there, but all the permeable paver around the patio captures the rainwater, so those never puddling. Like we just had rain downpouring on us last night, and it's pretty dry around here, and all that water is out to the managed storm sewer system, but it can be captured as recyclable, renewable rainwater to water the plants.
So that's not only is the rainwater then being managed, but it's also being used.
That's right.
So it's really the best of all worlds.
It is.
So again, a new person coming into this environment can use that and to their advantage. So it's really quite a great space. Really solid foundation on the ground too as well, which is something, again, you're going out for dinner, you're going to be outside, you understand the environmental factors, bugs and whatever there may be, but you know what, you want to be outside because we don't have a lot of time, so we have to use our time wisely here in Southern Ontario. But you want to have a nice solid ground. You don't want your feet in mud. So this is good good flooring.
Well, and the other thing about pavers, they're renewable, recyclable. They can be reused in another landscape down the road. But in this particular instance, it was actually a real nice choice. Rustic has a little bit of a natural feel to it as well, with that stone top to it.
Yes, it does, and it's one of those things where it's not in your face. It's just solid. It looks great when you look at it. You're like, oh, that's nicely done. I like the finishing around the bar. The bar's slightly raised as well. People love this environment as well, to be able to sit up at a bar, and just the way everything's been done. Solid top. And but a mix of, as you say, woods and metals. It looks good.
Everything reusable again.
Really, really cool. Great chairs and all. Just that rustic look, as you mentioned. So nothing too bright and fancy. It's just sort of.
Even the access door is like the old barn rail system that slides back and forth at the back there for going into the kitchen.
That's neat. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so fun. So when you have somebody that's, would come to you about their backyard, and again, obviously that you're going to be talking about what features they need to have in their yard, what do they want to have. So here again, specifically for a restaurant, you want bars, you want tables, you want open space, but you have a few questions, I guess, for people when they want to do something like this and they want to incorporate some of the rustic bits and pieces.
I get that a lot, actually. There's a lot of nostalgia. Some family member passed some wagon wheel or old milk containers. I actually even had a client who liked to recycle the husband's work boots and actually put them in flowered pots and put sedums out of them. Yeah, there's so many things that you can repurpose. It's incredible.
That's neat.
Yeah.
You have to kind of think outside of the box, right? And I'm
do.
sure you can provide ideas for people as well. If you walk in their yard and they have something old kind of sitting over in the corner, something that you could do using items. But you're seeing that a lot more and more nowadays, is people taking old items and really using them to their advantage, and rather than them becoming trash, or if they do put them out at the end of their driveway, someone's going to pick them up.
Someone else's treasure, or no, what did they say? Someone else's garbage is another man's treasure.
Another man's treasure, and it really is that way. So you do venture, garage sales this summer and into the fall that we have, and go to antique shops, as you mentioned. We have a lot of them around the region, and pick up really neat things, right?
Yeah.
So I think being out on this patio, this is you've created a really good space here. So again, we do have sort of that privacy, but there's still something open and connected here that gives people a little bit of a vibe.
That's right.
Right? Just to be out, in Thirsty Cactus, the old parking lot. So we were talking about the fact that this was a parking lot, and how at the time when you were sitting out here, before when you walk by and you see this as a parking lot, it barely looked like any space at all, but somehow you made it look like it's huge.
Yes, yeah. Well, and again, just about space planning here, we did kind of go out to the extended boundaries a little bit beyond what used to be here.
Right.
And we're only talking a couple of feet.
Sure.
But I think one of the things that give it that larger feeling, even though behind us we have a little bit around 6 foot high walls, we have more about 4.5 foot low walls.
Right.
And that still allows people to see the main street and the character across the street with all the buildings and their shutters and siding and brick.
Right, because you don't want to be completely closed in, right? You want to have, again, just that little bit of a connection. So love the roof as well, very cool, and allows for drain off.
Yes, it does, yeah.
But again, metal, so why not use metals? Don't worry about them aging, and because again, you're going to get the character.
That's right. Well, actually, it's like I said, that rust actually provides a protective coating.
Go figure. Yeah. And here we are in our old steel town, right?
That's right, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dave. Again, if people are looking for information, they can always contact you, but you can go in and you can design the smallest spaces to the largest spaces and make them look really fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need. Everybody needs a little bit of that in their life. Thank you.
Love to do it.
All right, that's it for now. And thanks again to Thirsty Cactus and our iced tea. Cheers.
Cheers.
We'll be back with more Terra at Home.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning, welcome back to Terra at Home. I'm here with Naz Cavallero from Broil King. Nice to have you back. We love having you on the show because you make wonderful barbecued meats and vegetables and great things.
Very simple stuff. I love using the simplicity of produce and meats, different proteins. We're going to do something very simple today. I'm doing a beer brine pork chop, bone on. And we're using a nice 1.5, 2 inch thickness.
Those
so
look
it keeps,
good.
yeah, so you want to make it nice and moist.
Yes.
Keep it nice and moist. The thinner you have it, the less, it
Yeah,
might
pork
be a little
doesn't have a lot of fat content to it.
No,
on
a
certain
lot
cuts,
of people
right?
overcook pork,
Yes.
right? So, and you're right, yeah, depending on the cut, you'll have some fat. This has a nice marbling in it as well. And again, to open up that window for cooking or overcooking, we've made a brine for it. Very simple. We're gonna make a brine to show them. While we're doing that, I'm gonna put these on the grill, okay?
Okay.
And we're setting the grill at a medium-high temperature right today.
Okay.
We preheated the grill. You gotta make sure your grids are nice and clean so the food doesn't stick.
Yes.
We'll put that on a medium temperature. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna get you to put some beer. We're gonna take about a cup of your favorite beer.
Okay.
We're gonna do a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, about a nice clove of the rest of this garlic, some brown sugar, about a spoon of the brown sugar, all this rosemary that I chopped up. These are all flavors you're gonna put into the brine. Maybe a tablespoon of salt. And then just mix it all in there, okay? And
Nice.
I'll cut up the lime for you so you can
Okay.
squeeze it though.
So, cup of beer. Have you been drinking some of this?
I have been actually.
That's what happens when
Well,
you
it's got
cook
some
with,
brine. I've got some brine in this one too. I've brined it already. This has been brining for about 2 to 3 hours. You want to make sure. You want to make sure to your liking. The recipe is to your liking. How's that? So this has been already brining for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Ooh, nice.
Before I put it now on the grill, I'm just going to give it a nice coating of oil. It helps reduce sticking and give you some nice flavor on the one side, and that's the side we're going to put on the grill.
Okay.
And we're going to set it down at a 10 o'clock position, okay?
Okay.
So we'll go 10, put this one over, 10, and we're going to put the lid down. I'm just going to put a little bit more of this spice on top.
Am I supposed to be making this right now?
Yep, absolutely.
I'm hesitating. I'm just gonna
And I'm
add
going to
garlic.
put a little oil on the
Lots
top
of
too.
garlic.
You're going to make your own recipe there, aren't you?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, keep the lid down and let it just cook. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Be with you 1 second.
A little. Oops.
Okay, so how's the brine coming along?
I got a little pepper on your pineapple.
That's okay. We're gonna season that as well. So you would take the beer, rosemary, a little bit of pepper, the
Yep.
garlic.
Yep.
Did you put the salt in there?
No, not yet.
Okay, so I'm
I
gonna
got
put
to the
about a
pepper part.
tablespoon of salt.
Okay.
Just like that. Look how
Whoa.
it fizzes there.
Yeah, look at that.
And then about a tablespoon. We're just gonna put all the brown sugar in there. How's that? And then we'll squeeze the juice of 1 whole lime, okay?
Okay.
And then this, you just pour right on top of your pork chops. You can have them thin or you can have them thick, but you just pour it right on top of your pork chops and you let the pork chops sit in there for about 2.5 hours in the fridge. Very, very simple, okay? Okay, so now that's done. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a seasoning or a dressing for the salad I made to accompany the pork chops. We took some pineapple. We took some oil, very simple, just put some oil on it and grill them right on the grill for about 2 to 3 minutes. You want to get some flavor.
I love that flavor.
The flavors are amazing.
So simple, and it's so good.
We're just going to use a couple of them, right?
Okay.
And you grill that. Same with the corn. So now we're going to take the corn. We're going to take the husk off the corn. We're just going to have it just like that. And we're going to put some oil on that as well.
Okay.
Just a little bit of oil and put that right on the grill as well, okay? You can put this on the top. You can put it on the side. Very, very simple.
A lot of people have questions with grilling corn. Do you keep the husk on? Do you do it directly on the grill? But you're putting it husk off right on the grill.
There are so many different ways you can do corn. If you leave the husk on, I usually soak them for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yes.
And then cook them in the husk, and the steam will cook the corn. Then you just take it off at the last minute and put butter on. It's amazing.
Good stuff.
You can do it with the husk off. Sometimes I'll make a Parmesan butter. I'll put a Parmesan butter on that and cook that on there so the butter just bakes it as it's cooking.
Yep.
For this purpose, for making our salad, we're just going to coat it with oil, and then we just kind of shave it right off.
Because you want to get a little bit of charred flavor in there, right?
You do. That's going to give you lots of flavor.
Yep.
So we're going to put about a cup of the corn. Very simple. We took the pineapple and we diced that up as well after it's been grilled, so you can see some of the grill marks,
Yes,
right?
yep.
So we're going to put the whole pineapple in there. Then we took a bell pepper and we diced that up, all the same sizing, okay?
Right,
Just something
right.
like that. Look at the color that's
I was
developing
going to say,
from
you're
this.
making some great colors here too by using the red pepper and then and a red onion. There's
So
some really great colors.
flavorful, so flavorful. For those that like onion, we're gonna use red onion, a nice small cup of that. And the fresh flavor comes from cilantro.
My favorite.
I know, it just freshens up everything in the
Yes,
summertime.
oh, I just love it.
So then salt and pepper to taste. And if you would have had that dressing already done, like you were supposed to be doing dressing, you didn't do the dressing for me. Did I give you the ingredients?
No,
for
you didn't.
That's why you didn't do the dressing. So now we're gonna do the dressing. We're gonna add some oil for this guy here. Just seeing if you're still with me here.
I think I used your garlic all up though.
Did
I
ya?
threw it in the marinade.
Oh, it's okay. We don't need all the garlic. We're not putting garlic in this. So we put about a quarter cup of the olive oil. We're gonna take some honey,
Okay.
put in about a tablespoon of honey,
Right.
just like that.
There we go.
Beautiful. I'm gonna put a little bit of pepper in there. I'm gonna put a little salt in there. You're gonna take that Tabasco sauce or the hot pepper sauce and put as much or as little as you want for hotness.
That's probably good.
Remember, that's gonna go in the salad. That's good?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably too hot.
So we're gonna take this lime, another lime. I'm gonna turn these guys over. Hold on a second, because these guys are calling my name out. Remember to have different tongs, raw.
Right.
You just put it on with raw. So we're gonna take these guys over.
Oh, look at
Beautiful
that.
markings. We're gonna take this.
Gorgeous.
That is flavor. You see that? Can you get a close up of that? That is flavor.
That's good. That's good.
And put it down. Again, keeping it at 10 o'clock position. So dressing. So we're gonna do the
your
lime. Very simple. And we're gonna squeeze a lime in here, okay?
Okay.
And you mix that up with the fork.
Yep. Can do that for you.
You can use orange juice. You can use clementine. Whatever juices you want.
Just some nice citrusy flavors
yeah, it's
to
just
add in
some,
there, right?
it's nice. It goes great with the cilantro. You got the pineapple for sweetness in there.
That is going to be
Very
fantastic.
simple.
And we
You
know
mix
how
that
those
up.
flavors really complement pork, right?
Yep. So you mix that up, and then you're gonna mix it over the bowl, so it just falls in there. That's a lesson. And then you just pour it over.
Yep.
And you mix it up maybe a half hour before you need it, so that
Yep.
way the flavors infuse. Mix it right up.
And
Mix
you're,
it up with
and
the
so
fork.
oh, that's amazing. That's gonna
And
be
that'll go
so good.
fantastic with those pork chops.
Wonderful. I love it.
And now, you know, nowadays the meat's getting very expensive out
Yes,
there. So
yes,
using a
it
nice
is.
pork or a less tender cut like a brisket or
Yes.
or doing a whole pork shoulder, these are different ways. I mean, if you can afford a good cut steak, it's going to be like that. But
Yeah.
you know, buy whatever you can.
Buy what you can. All right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and plate this for you and
Sure.
make you jealous. We'll be right back.
Live colorfully at TERRA, where color lives.
I am a truth seeker.
A storyteller.
A dedicated volunteer.
I am a caring neighbor.
A customer's best friend.
And a client advocate.
I am a survivor.
A social media junkie.
A proud father of four and problem solver.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am.
We are the Hamilton Spectator.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're back with Naz Cavallero from Broil King, and you have these beautiful pork chops that you
Look at these.
These
They
are gorgeous.
smell amazing,
I
eh?
know.
They're smelling
We
so
have this
good.
awesome side accompaniment to the pork.
Yes, the corn pineapple salad with red peppers and red onions.
So good.
So I finished cooking just before we get to plating. We're
Yes.
gonna let it sit again. Right now the juices are all in the middle. We're
Yep.
gonna let them redistribute. But just to show how we finished this, we had the outside burner because this is a larger grill. Once I seared the both sides to finish cooking it because it is a thicker cut,
Yes.
I moved them to the middle. I turned off the outside or the middle burners completely off, and I left the outside burners on at a low temperature.
So the
that way,
indirect cooking method.
very good. So
I've
we
learned
had
a
the
lot.
indirect cooking method. It pays off to hang with me,
It's
doesn't it?
finally sinking in after all these years.
Okay, so these are just about right. Look at that, beautifully done.
Gorgeous.
Nice flavor on both sides. If you don't want to have too much browning or you want to cook them to that well done, which nobody eats, you can wrap those with aluminum foil so they don't get charred.
sure.
Just little tips like that. But again, the number one tool, use a thermometer.
Yeah.
If you want to check to make sure that they're done perfectly every time, turkey, pork, whatever it is, the thermometer never lies.
That's the best
Very,
way.
very simple. So let's put this right on here.
Just a reminder as well that you're kind enough to lend your recipe to us. So it'll be on terragreenhouses.com, our website.
Yes, yes,
and,
it will
you
be.
can try this out.
You want to add some salad to
Yes,
that?
I can do that.
Very simple dressing for the salad. You grilled the corn. We grilled the pineapple. You grill it just to have, whoa, that's hot, 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 hot.
What are you doing?
So you have the hot corn. You just shave the corn off. Same with the pineapple. Everything diced up nicely. Same with the red pepper. We used a dressing. Remember what was in the dressing? Quickly.
Yes, honey, oil, salt and pepper, and lime,
Lime,
and garlic.
honey. Did you say
I
honey?
said the honey.
Okay, then
Honey.
we're all done.
Yeah,
a little
we're
bit of
done.
lime juice,
Look
and
at
then you whisk it up, and away you go.
And you're set.
Very, very
and
simple.
then you don't pick up the corn with your hands.
Okay, you want to try the pork?
Just learn it. Yeah, you know what? We have to go, but yeah, I can try it once we're
Okay.
done. Okay.
Too bad.
Have a great
See
weekend.
ya.
I get to try it. Bye.